It's been 14 very long years since Scotland have beaten the Springboks at Murrayfield. The last time these two teams met was at last year's Rugby World Cup, where South Africa won 18 points to 3. If there was ever an opportunity or time Scotland could beat the Springboks with the team and players they have at the moment, and those players being in great form, this weekend is that time, because Scotland's team and the way these guys are playing in fantastic form, and the Springboks haven't played together since the Rugby Championship. But before we get into any of that, let me know in the comments what you guys think. What do you think of the teams? How do you think this game will play out? Where do you think it'll be won or lost? Who's going to score the first try? Who's going to be man of the match? Let me know in the comments. Hit that subscribe while you're there. Let's get into it. So while I'm recording this, the two teams haven't been released yet. I think there's a bit of Gregor Townsend and Rassie Erasmus, a bit of mind games there. They all said that we're going to name it the Thursday, and then both said that they were going to name it then later on Friday afternoon. So by the time this comes out, the teams will probably be out already, but I'm recording this before the teams have come out. I'm in Australia. I'm ahead of time. It's hard to keep track of things like that. So we can talk in the comments when the teams have been announced, but we're still going to get ahead straight into a preview, some talking points, where I think the game will be won or lost. Oh man, it's going to be massive. Love a sold out stadium at Murrayfield. Love playing at Murrayfield. The Springboks do. The last time they lost there was 2010. That's 14 years ago. That's a long time ago. No, the last time they met was at the Rugby World Cup in the pool stages. Probably the most memorable part of that game was Manie Leboeck's no-look cross kick that South Africans like to remind people about. It was a bit of beautiful skill. Some talking points. Obviously, how long ago Scotland have beaten South Africa? 14 years. That's I was in school then. That's a long time ago. Will that play on the Scottish team? Look, I don't think so, because most of the guys that are involved in the Scottish team weren't involved back then. There's a newfound confidence within this group. Even the clubs, how well they're playing in the URC. Glasgow won the URC last year, and they're carrying on with that form this year. And all the guys that are playing for Scotland are all in fine form. You think of the Tuipulotus, Hugh Jones. These guys are in great form. Hastings, he probably won't even play. He might be on the bench, but Finn Russell's been in fine form for Bath. Then you look over at Edinburgh, Duan van der Merwe in great form. Piers Kuman in fantastic form as well. One of the other talking points that I saw this week come out was Andre Esterhuizen saying that he'd rather have or play 18 tests or whatever he has for a country that he was born in than 70 or whatever tests for a country that he wasn't born in. Obviously having a dig at Duan van der Merwe, I'm all for digs and going at each other, so I guess I can't really say what I'm about to say about that, but I don't like that dig at all. You're having a dig at someone who's made decisions that has bettered his life, bettered in quotation marks. That is, he's made a life decision that has drastically improved his life. He's now the leading or the try-scoring record holder for Scotland, playing on the international stage. If he stayed in South Africa, he probably wouldn't be. I guess it is having a dig, and just people are allowed to have their own opinions, and kind of adding a bit of rivalry to this game, or a bit of hype leading up to the game. But yeah, I don't like those comments. Again, I don't mind it. I'm all for it. I don't agree with it, and that's fine. No Darcy Graham, that is a huge out. He was in fine form, scored 4 tries last weekend versus Fiji. And you wanted to see that battle, him up against Kurtley Arendse or Cheslin Colby, the headgear bandits going at it. Springboks haven't played together since the Rugby Championship. That's a couple of weeks. And some of the guys haven't played rugby at all since then. So we'll see whether that break in between games proves costly or proves good and a well-deserved rest, because the way these guys play, some of them play, so all the guys that play in Japan, they're all the ones that have been rested now this time. They haven't played any rugby since the Rugby Championship. So your Peter Steph Toys, Damien de Allender, Jasper Wiese, Jesse Creel, all these guys, Kwagga Smith, all these guys that play in Japan haven't played any games. The rest have all played in the URC. I think that little break has been good for the guys to rest, regather your thoughts, rest the body. Because, man, the amount of punishment they put themselves through week in, week out, there's so much rugby to be played. Little break is probably a good thing. And then, like I said, the guys that have been playing for Scotland in the URC have been in fantastic form. Man, I really can't wait for this. And like I said, if there was ever a chance for Scotland to beat South Africa, it's now. With the players that they've got and how informed these players are, it's probably now. But you are coming up against back-to-back Rugby World Cup champs, Rugby Championship champs. Like, this South African team is just something else. Some matchups and where the game will be won or lost. Look, it's hard to say the matchups now because I don't know which way the teams are going to be or how the teams are going to be announced, who's going to be playing. But I think the fly-offs against each other, whoever that is, so I think Finn Russell will probably do it. And then either Manie Leborg or Andre Pollard will be very, very important. How these guys drive the team around the park. They're kicking out of hand. They're kicking at goal will be a massive one as well, especially early on to get the points rolling, to get that scoreboard ticking over. But kicking during the game to apply pressure down onto the field. The contestable up and under kick, so that's kicks off 9 as well. And then exit kicking. How well the 10 plays is directly connected to how well the forwards play. If your forward pack is going forward, you're getting your lineouts, you're getting your scrums. At 10, it makes it so much easier. You're rolling forward. You've got options. The ruck speed is quick. You're getting over that vantage line. Like I said, you ball in 2 hands. You've got options. You can sit back in the pocket and kick. You've got time to look up what decisions you want to make. So it's really dependent on the forwards going forward. And I think that's where South Africa will have the upper hand here. Yes, Scotland have got some big boppers running around in the front row, like your Piers Kumans, your Jack Dempseys, your Rory Dages. But you look at that South African team, you look at guys like Oxenchair, Bongion Benambi, Eben Etzebeth, Peter Steptoy, Siya Kolisi, like very, very strong. And with experience-wise, 2 different sides of the spectrum. Man, and that Springbok side, or especially the forwards, very, very strong. And they always... their game plan is predominantly based around the forwards going forward and battling you up front. Yes, they've brought in a different dynamic with a more attacking style, but it's still their basis of play has always been up front and bully you up front, get it over that advantage line, physically batter you, set pieces in the scrums, at line out time, at rucks as well. And I don't see them going away from that because it's going to be a battle and it's going to be won or lost up front. For a prediction, I think, yes, while Scotland and all the guys that are playing for Scotland at the moment are in fine form, the URC teams that are playing for Scotland are in good form as well and getting good results. This South African team is just at a different level at the moment. The depth, the way they're playing, the cohesion they have, how long these guys have been playing together. Yes, they haven't played for a couple of weeks together now, and Scotland had a game last week versus Fiji, but I think the Springbok team is just too strong at the moment. I think Springboks by 10 to 15 points. It'll be a tough first half, I think, but then it's battling you out in that second half, and it's It'll be a big question or big hill to climb for Scotland to play that full 80 minutes. Man, it still can go either way because, like I said, Scotland are in great form at the moment. But I'm going Springboks by 10 to 15 points. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. What are your score predictions? Let me know in the comments. Hit that subscribe while you're there, and I'll see you next time.